Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bourbon Bites Whiskey Reviews with a Gaming Twist. I'm your host, Clifton, and welcome to another Thursday night live stream. Those of you who are watching live, I apologize for being about 14 minutes late. I was helping out a colleague with an urgent work issue, but it is currently resolved, so we are all good to go. So I appreciate your patience. Thank y'all for hanging in there. I saw some of you that were hitting the thumbs up button before I got started, which was awesome. If you're watching the replay or watching live, hit the thumbs up and support those of you that supported me. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, if you saw the thumbnail, we are trying 5 new whiskeys to me. Now, some of these came out about a year. Most of these came out this year, but some of these came out at the end of 2024, but they're new to me. So that's my reason for calling this a new whiskey stream. So some of these were sent to me by some incredible brands out there. Some of these I picked up on my own, but hopefully all of them are really, really good. So let me know what you guys are drinking. Sorry, I also ate dinner really quickly before I joined the stream, so I realized I ate way too quickly, but it's okay. It's okay. We got some great whiskeys tonight. I cannot wait to dive into pretty much most of these, especially the Knob Creek 10-year-old travel exclusive that I picked up. I was just talking about this with Perry on his stream. This is a cask strength Knob Creek 10-year-old coming in at 122.4 proof or 61.2% ABV. Have never had I have had a cask strength Knob Creek, and it's been years because their bourbon, it was the 25th anniversary release that I had. That was incredible. So I'm really, really hoping that this one stands up. Y'all know I love Knob Creek. I love Jim Beam, so I cannot wait to try that one. But we got some other whiskeys to drink as well. We're not going to start with Knob Creek, of course, because that is so high proof. Everything else is a bit lower proof than that, but not too much. So we'll be trying. Let me figure out the order. Just looking at the proof. Yeah, we'll start with this one. We'll start with the Santa Fe Spirits. This is the Santa Fe whiskey. Now, you may have known them previously as Colkegan. They went by another name before. They just did a rebrand, actually, and I've actually never had their stuff. So this is a Mesquite smoked American single malt whiskey. Original Mesquite coming in at 46% ABV. So 92 proof. Mesquite kiln smoked. Now, it's funny because I actually just went to Santa Fe a few months back, and literally the weekend I got back, they sent me an email being like, "Hey, Clifton, we're Santa Fe Spirits. Would you like to try our product?" I'm like, "Oh my God, I wish I've got this a week before. I would have totally drove all the way." I was in Albuquerque. I see Brandon saying, "Yeah, no, I didn't." But it was literally the week after I got back from Albuquerque. It was a crazy coincidence. But no, I didn't try it while I was in New Mexico. But I'm excited to visit it for the first time, especially with this new rebranding. Super exciting. I also want to say hi to some folks in the chat. Thank y'all again for your patience. Zophir's here. Fred is here. I just barely got in, so shower time. Okay, so wait, that's weird. Okay, that's 30 minutes ago. I thought you were saying that because I was late, but obviously not. But good to see you, Fred. Donner Fast Whiskey is here. Fred made it back just in time. Well, you had a little bit of extra time to dry off there. There we go. Tony says, "Hello, Bourbon Biters? Biters? Yeah, I think it's Bourbon Biters. Okay, Bourbon Biters. We'll go with that." And that was me being late. Sorry. Making dinner, making some gyoza. Ooh, okay. Sounds delicious. Hopefully those were great. Doug is here in the chat. I want my Cliffy back ribs. I see, there you go. Yes, I was late, but I am here. Doug is sipping some Larceny Barrel Proof A125. Nice. I just reviewed that a couple streams back. Really, really impressive. I cannot wait to see what Larceny does this year. Reminds me of Whiskey Del Bach. I'm not familiar with that name. You're just saying like the label, maybe? The design here? It is beautiful. I mean, I do love the label on this one. Y'all know how I feel about American Single Malt. I've had some really great ones, and I've had some middle-of-the-road ones, but I'm excited to try a new one to me, which is this one. So, again, thank you to the folks at Santa Fe Whiskey for sending me this sample. Let's see if there's an age statement. Let's see what info we have here on it. It says it's different at 7,000 feet, distilled at the foot of the Sangre de Cristos. Santa Fe Spirits delivers the soul of the Southwest in every sip. Just seeing if there might be an age statement here. It does say that it's 92 proof, distilled from 100% malted barley. So we know what we're getting into here. Oh, okay. Tony said that that's a Tucson single malt mesquite smoked as well. Okay, interesting. So that's Arizona. This is New Mexico. Very interesting. Whiskey Pear Aaron's in the chat. He says, I'm having a Harlan Brewing Hazy IPA. Fantastic stuff. Can't wait to hear what you think of that Cask at Knob Creek. Well, neither can I. I will say, everything else here tonight I have had a little sippy of, but I have not tried the Knob Creek. So I wanted to be a surprise first impression of that one. But I did want to get a little preview of everything else before I went to a review. I know some of those first impressions are very reactive. And don't get me wrong, I just tried these like an hour ago. It's not like I tried them, weeks ago. I just wanted to make sure I was prepared to kind of get into some tasting notes. I pulled up some info about each of them, so should be a good time. But yeah, super, super excited. But let's go ahead and try the Santa Fe Spirits. Again, this is the whiskey. This is their original mesquite smoked single malt. Of course, let me know what you guys are drinking in the chat. I know some of you guys were pre-gaming. I asked you guys to know the pour because I was late, so let me know what you're drinking. If you are watching live or you're watching the replay and you missed last Saturday's special live stream, Jeff, who's Jeff? Definitely check out the replay because Brandon, who was here in the chat, joined me for a E.H. Taylor flight. So we tried not just Colonel E.H. Taylor small batch, we tried single barrel, store pick, barrel proof, rye, and barrel proof rye. Wait, that isn't right. Rye, barrel proof bourbon, and barrel proof rye. There we go. That makes more sense. So it was a super fun flight. I'm I'm still drooling over those pours. Thank you again, Tony Bag of Donuts, for the barrel proof rye. If you missed that, go check out the replay. It's the latest video on my channel, or just go on my channel, search Bourbon Bites E.H. Taylor flight. You'll find it. So much fun. Probably one of the best flights I've had on the channel in a long time. So check out that replay. But see Fred. Fred says, looking forward to that, trying that Knob Creek on a future tasting. Well, if you don't know, Fred is referring to my Bourbon Terabytes tasting, which is one of my membership levels here. You can find out more at bourbonbites.com or patreon.com/bourbonbites. That is a tier that gets you a monthly sample set where we do a live tasting. And this was actually going to be part of the April set, but Fred actually said, like, hey, we're doing a bunch of single malts. Let's save this one for another one. So Fred, we're definitely going to get this one on a future tasting. If y'all are curious, check out bourbonbites.com where you can find some exclusive merch. The Bite Club, which is my membership program, for joining as little as $2 a month, but different tiers get you access to different levels like that tasting. And you can find out where to follow me on the web. Instagram, Twitter. I'm actually not on Twitter. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I mean, if you're watching this video, you're obviously watching on YouTube. So, but that's my home on the internet, bourbonbites.com. Just wait until our next flight. Oh yeah, Brandon. Brandon teased me with some upcoming pours for an upcoming flight. So you guys don't want to miss these special Saturday night live streams. They're random. They're not every month. They're definitely not every week. But when they happen, they are so much fun. Brandon gets access to some of the coolest whiskey, at least in Southern California. So make sure, if I ever schedule a Saturday night live stream, make sure you want to watch because it's so much fun. You're back. What did you miss? Not much. Just getting warmed up. I just poured my first glass, just saying hello to everyone, and hope those gyozas are great. Michael's here in the chat. Michael is one of our Bite Club members as well. Good evening, all you wonderful whiskey people. Good evening to you, Michael. Hopefully you are having a great Thursday night. It is almost Friday. It's basically Friday. We're just here to celebrate, round out our week, and then just breeze on through Friday. That's what I do. I've noticed that I actually have a really good Friday after these live streams because it's like I get to like unwind and relax and hang out with you guys on a Thursday. It makes Friday so much easier to get through. So hopefully you feel the same. If so, if not, I mean, maybe watch this on another day of the week. But if so, make sure to subscribe. I appreciate you guys that come back week to week, and those of you that are new, so excited to see you here tonight. Thank you, Emily, for dropping the link to this flight. Yes, it was so much fun. Make sure to check that out after the stream. Yeah, I was very surprised by how one in particular stood up against the competition. So that's all I'll say. Tom Black is here. Cheers to you. Good to see you. Joseph Brazo. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you are doing well. It's been a minute since I've seen you in a live stream, but glad to see you here. Um, Emily says I suck at typing, but I can search for days. Well, that's very true. We appreciate you so much for being one of our incredible mods, along with Brandon. There are quite a few mods out there, so if you're a mod, say hi. Let people know you're a mod. If you have any issues, reach out to them, and they will set you right. So, anyways, enough delaying. We're 25 minutes in, and I have not had a whiskey yet, so I think it's about time I had my first pour of the evening. Again, Santa Fe whiskey, Mesquite smoked, new rebranded version of Kilkeegan. I've never had Kilkeegan, so I have no preconceived notions, other than this is an American single malt, Mesquite smoked at the end. Yeah, let's give it a try. Let's nose it first, though. Okay, I do get a little bit of smokiness, not overpowering. I've had some Mesquite smoked bourbons that have been extremely, extremely overpowered. This one, the whiskey itself is still very, very prominent. It's not overly smoky, not overly oaked. It actually has a nice like sweetness coming up through the I would assume the grains. Again, 100% malted barley. And normally sometimes that interprets itself as more of like a cereal grain, which I'm hit or miss on. But this one actually smells a bit. I don't want to say, it kind of reminds me of like a. I don't want to say anything. Like I don't want to say it. Kind of reminds me. It doesn't remind me of espresso. That's what I'm trying to place it. It's like a roasted coffee bean, but it's not the actual coffee part of it. It's just the roasted element. It's got a little bit of like a, like some of their like the chocolate malts we've had, mostly rye. They kind of the way that they actually cook the malt more so than the actual variety. This one does have a bit more depth, a little more darkness to it. It's definitely impressing me so far on the nose. So let's go ahead and try this for the first time. Cheers, y'all. Okay. There we go. Honestly, I wanted to get full transparency. I was like, let's get this single malt out of the way. Not that I didn't think it was going to be good, but I was like, okay, this is probably going to be the simplest, I guess I was going to say, of this, because we're going to go bourbon, we're going to go, cask strength, we're going to be just a lot of fun stuff. But actually, this one really stands up. It has a lot of character going on for it. It's not as, I don't know the age statement on this one. Again, I have their website pulled up, but I'm not seeing an age statement. If I'm missing it, I apologize. I just know that this is an homage to its heritage. This whiskey is much more than just another peat smoked whiskey from across the pond, and wouldn't want to be called Scotch, even if it could be. Made entirely from malted barley, carefully distilled, aged, and finished in various oak casks to enhance the complex flavors for this single malt whiskey. Again, a little bit of vague comments, which is fine. I get it, but I would love to see more specific info about what went into this. We obviously know it's mesquite smoked, but I'd love to know maybe a little bit about age, maybe a little bit of those casks that it's finished in. But overall, even without that info, I'm really enjoying this. It does have an interesting smoke. It's not peaty at all. It's a little bit like a how can I describe this without it being? It doesn't smell like a Scotch. I'll say that. It doesn't smell like an Islay Scotch. Let me clarify. It does smell like a little bit of like a lightly peated, maybe, I don't want to say Highland because Highland's not my favorite. Honestly, Highland is one of my least favorite categories of Scotch. I love a good Islay Scotch. I love some Lowland releases. I love some Speyside. Highland's not quite my jam, but this is like you took a bit of a whiskey that has some ocean elements to it, or some, I always say it smells like a marsh or something like that. It's a very specific note that I get. I love it because I grew up in South Carolina. I love that smell. But it's like that, but you added a little bit of smoke to that. Yeah, this is amazing. This is the first thing I've had from Santa Fe Spirits, but if they're able to put this out as their main product, again, they sent me this as like it's a rebranding, but this is still their flagship product. They first released it back in 2013, so they've had about 12 years to perfect this. I think they're doing a really good job. It's like taking on the things that we love about single malts, especially in Scotland, but making it a bit of a New Mexico twist on it. I do like it. Yeah. Great place to start. Can't wait to try more of their products. Michael said, so it's like my college emo girlfriend as opposed to my high school girlfriend. More depth and darkness to her. Okay. I mean, if your college emo girlfriend was from Scotland and I don't know where I was going to go with that. I don't want to say anything that might be offensive, so sure. I agree with that. Emily says Santa Fe does tasty stuff. I think I had that one last year. Nice. I've never had it. Fred said, so this is a rebranded of Kilkeegan. Sad that the name is such a downgrade. Good whiskey, though. I don't know if I agree with that, Fred. I will say, when I hear the name Kilkeegan, I'm like, oh, that's from somewhere overseas. Like to me, that just reads as another... No offense to Kalila or Glenallachie or all these things. But to me, Kilkeegan reads as a Scotch. But being an American single malt, especially one that dates back to August of 2013, I think it makes sense for them to kind of put their name on it, brand it as New Mexico whiskey. I think it's great to own that culture. I mean, I feel like I think of American single malt 2013. I mean, I wouldn't have had it because I was just in college and I was still drinking flavored vodka 12 years ago. But I will say, I kind of wish they would have owned that, being an American single malt. That's really cool. Marshy, Saline, and Peat makes me think of Ardmore. Ooh, you know what? I don't know if I've had Ardmore. But I mean, that's absolutely my favorite flavor profile. I love a saline forward whiskey, and I love a little bit of peat. So I may have to try Ardmore. If I've tried it, it's definitely not been like, it's been like part of a flight or something. I've never had it specifically for the channel. Emily says they do an apple brandy that's tasty. Ooh, sounds delicious. The name was more unique. Santa Fe Spirits is super. I mean, I get that. But I will say, yeah, I get what you're saying about Scotch. Yeah, I mean, I agree. It is a little more generic, but, I think it holds their heritage to the fact that they are a Southwest spirit. We really don't have too many, at least in this, because I'm in Southern California. We do have a lot of some California spirits, but I think of Arizona and this stuff. Like, we really don't have a defined spirit culture here. And I think labeling yourself as the original Santa Fe whiskey, to me, that says a lot. So, Aaron says he'll save me some Ardmore samples. You'd like Old Pulp. I do like Old Pulteney if you like salty stuff. Yes, I agree. That's one that I've actually had and I actually really enjoy. So sounds like you get me, Aaron. So we'll have to try some of that coming up soon. Y'all stay tuned for that. So yeah, I mean that's a good place to start. Again, I started with it because it was lower proof, but it's also the only one that's not a bourbon. Everything else we're having is bourbon. So I want to get that as our starter, but was not expecting to enjoy it so much. So again, thank you to the folks over at Santa Fe Spirits. If y'all are interested in me featuring more of your products, please send them my way. I would absolutely love to review your stuff or interview someone from the distillery. Emily says that you have a brandy. That's what I was going for that. I would love to try that as well. So y'all check out Santa Fe Spirits, especially if you're in the New Mexico area. All right. Aaron said I would love to do a stream. Yes, dude, anytime. Please reach out to me. If any of you guys have any ideas for streams, let me know. The easiest way to get in touch with me is on our Discord server, which if you go to bourbonbites.com, you can find a link to it there. It's a great community of whiskey-loving friends. Quite a few of you are there, but some of you aren't. I would love to see you as part of the community. That's also where we do a lot of our fun things like our movie nights, our Patreon hangouts, our Bite Club hangouts, and lots of fun things like that. So bourbonbites.com, please join our Patreon. It's such a fun community. You will be very, very welcomed there, and I hope to see some of you there tonight after the stream. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to some bourbons. Let's get back into the spirit. I mean, my name is Bourbon Bites, but I do appreciate spirits of all categories. I think we're going to start today. I'm looking at ABVs. I do like working my way up. So I think what we're going to start with is... okay, that's a good point. Texas, South... To me, I don't think of Texas as Southwest. Maybe that's because I grew up I think of Texas as just south. Colorado, Utah, yes. Utah, you're right about Utah. But again, they're like rye whiskey. I'm thinking of obviously High West. Colorado, I think of that more like. I mean, I guess it technically is Southwest. Listen, I didn't learn geography very well. I'm from South Carolina. Our education system's not the best in the country, is all I gotta say. All right, but yes, let's move on to the bourbons we have tonight. I'm very, very excited for. Oh, okay. I thought you were judging me, Fred. I read that as sarcastic. So, okay, I get you now. All right, so let's move to some bourbons. Now, these are very special releases. One is brand new, the rest are limited editions, so I'm very excited to get into them. The first one I'm going to get into is a brand that I tried probably a year ago on the channel. It's a brand that's easily confused with another brand, which I'll get into in a bit. But I tried the Cream of Kentucky rye whiskey last year. It's definitely unique, one of the most unique ryes that I'd had in a long time. But now they have a new release out, and it's a Cream of Kentucky small batch Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, bottled for J.W. Rutledge. Now, obviously, King of Kentucky, Cream of Kentucky, very, very similar names. I don't know who came first. I don't want to, credit one over the other. But I will say this is an absolutely beautiful bottle. I mean, it's like a blue indigo, like it's a very deep blue, almost purple label. Very unique. I rarely see labels this color. As someone that's a huge fan of blue being my favorite color, this bottle stood out to me. This just came out. They had the rye, like I said, last year, but this is a new release for the bourbon. So I'm really excited to get into it. We do know a little bit of info here on the website. Officially, this did come out in 2024. I just didn't get it in Southern California until 2025. So to me, it's new. We're only 5 months in, right? We got time to still consider 2024 new. That's a lot of heart containers on that label. I love that. Yes, it does kind of remind you of, like a video game, your lives. I'm sure there's probably some meaning in this. Do I know it? No. Let's see how many they have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 13 hearts on it. That probably means something. Again, 100 proof ABV. We don't have an age statement. Maybe that 13 is signaling something. Maybe. I don't know, but I do have some info about it, so we're not completely going to this blind. This is, like I said, the brand was introduced in 1888 back in Ohio. Throughout the 1930s and 1940s, Cream of Kentucky grew to become one of the leading bourbon brands, with renowned artisan Norman Rockwell providing the artwork for the brand. This summer 2024 release was distilled under the tutelage of master distiller Jim Rutledge, obviously from Four Roses, and embodies the pinnacle of craftsmanship. This small batch release ensures the continuation of our signature double rich flavor promise while maintaining the tradition and excellence that has made Cream of Kentucky a name to remember. So that's according to their website here. So again, it doesn't really give us too much. It's not age statement. They clarified that there. I was looking into mash bills, and I'm struggling to find any solid information. Again, I think it is a blend of different barrels, potentially different distilleries. We don't really know, but there is. Wait, hold on. I found it. I was digging through one of these articles, and I see that this mash bill is 72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% barley. But that sounds very familiar. That sounds like a mash bill we've had before. Does anyone want to do some Googling and find out where that is? I have a guess, but I'm not going to say it on the channel. So this actually might just be from one distillery. Who knows? Again, it's not disclosed. It says it's bottled at Kentucky Artisan Distillery in Crestwood, Kentucky. They're known for Jefferson's. They're known for some other independent bottlings of whiskey. We don't know who actually. It's not disclosed who distills it. Fred said he missed the mash bill. It's 72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% barley. I've definitely heard that mash bill before, so let me know in the chat what you think it is. I'm not going to guess. Tutelage of a Rutledge. I love it. All right, so price point on this one was about $70, which about the same as the rye. I think I paid the same for the rye. Mash bill, again, 100 proof. Bourbon, small batch. Let's see how it is, though. Let's give it a nose. Okay. I will say, my experience with the rye, I thought it was really unique, but it wasn't my flavor profile that I enjoyed the most. This, however, on the nose, this is definitely up my alley. Really rich, really creamy. I mean, almost like a chocolate to it. I mean, it's very, very desserty. I mean, if you don't like a sweet bourbon, you may not like it, but I do enjoy sweet, like caramel bourbon. But there's some spice there too. It's not overwhelmingly sweet. Now, the spices, I associate it kind of with some spices I've gotten on. I mean, for me, wild turkey always has like a baking spice. This one is more cinnamon forward. Definitely cinnamon. Kind of tingles the nose hairs. Again, 100 proof, but a very sweet cinnamon, like a cinnamon sugar or like a cinnamon caramel dessert. Smells delicious. I'm seeing some Brown Foreman. I'm seeing some Old Forester. Yeah, I think it could be Brown Foreman for sure. Who also, Old Forester is the same. So I could also see that. But this is a pretty unique flavor profile. It does not smell like a Old Forester product. I'll tell you that, because those tend to lean a little bit more fruity. Fred said it also goes into Woodford. I think this is more in line with the Woodford flavor profile than an Old Forester. Old Forester to me is fruity, a little banana-y. This isn't that at all, though. This is sweet caramel, custard. I mean, delicious. I can't wait to take a bite of it. See, that's how delicious it is. I want to eat it. Can't wait to take a drink of it because I love the nose. So, cheers to y'all. Let's try Cream of Kentucky small batch bourbon. Hmm. Ooh. Yummy. Okay. I mean, again, I agree with exactly the first thing I said. This is up my alley in terms of flavor. The only thing I feel like it's missing a little bit is age. We read the number, there's 13 hearts. I don't know if that means anything. I doubt it's 13 years old. You know how they sometimes include a little hint? It doesn't taste like 13 years old, but it is all the flavors I love. Desserty caramel reminds me of like some Heaven Hills that I've had. Definitely, I think it's a bit younger. Um, $70 price point, I think that's a pretty fair price point, especially with this being as complex as it is. And I will say, the finish isn't the longest finish I've ever had. I think that's it does feel a little thin palate wise. So that's what I was kind of judging it off of with that $70 price point, because usually at that price point, I expect a bit more body, a bit more finish. But in terms of flavor, it's hard to find a flavor profile that just speaks to me. And they go by double rich. I don't doubt that at all. Not in terms of mouthfeel, but in terms of flavor. This does taste very desserty, very chocolate caramel dessert, decadent. I guess I would say decadent, but without the body. I'll say that. So if you're looking for something that has a lot of finish and a lot of heftiness in the mouthfeel, you're not going to find it here. But if you're looking for a lot of flavor, especially sweet flavor, Cream of Kentucky bourbon is a good pick for you. Maybe Fred. Maybe in the after party. Yeah. It's really good. I think, for $70, it's one that I say give it a try, especially if you like a sweeter bourbon. If you don't like a sweeter bourbon, maybe pass it up. I don't know if I necessarily am going to go out and seek a second bottle of this. Again, this is one that I bought with my own money, so it's not like it wasn't sent to me by a brand. I don't know if I would buy a second one, but it's not one that I feel like I regret buying. I just picked this up today, actually. It's fun. It's such a crowd pleaser. Super sweet. Yeah, that's gonna definitely get get drank really quickly here in my household. So awesome, Cream of Kentucky. Well, we are going to go up. Everything else from here on out is a cask. Don't want to speak too quickly. One may or may not be cask strength, but two of them are. So I don't want to go ahead and get a preconceived aspect of what's going to be cask strength, but this one I'm super, super excited about. You can see right here, there's some info right here that gives you a little bit of a teaser for what we're about to drink. This brand, actually, it is as far as I'm aware, it may be exclusive to Kentucky. God, that cinnamon from that last one, I feel like it's getting to me. So this may be a Kentucky exclusive, But when I was introduced to this brand about 2 or 3 years ago, I was insanely curious about it because it matched up with exactly what I want a good bourbon to be. So I'm going to pull up the info here after I already closed out of it accidentally. Thank you. Thank you. That snuck up on me for sure. So this one, the brand is Kentucky Senator. I was trying to pull up the info about whether they are released around the world or if they are just Kentucky. But this one a few years ago was one of my top whiskeys of the year, if not my favorite whiskey of the year. I'd have to go back and check, but 2 or 3 years ago, Kentucky Senator outshone the competition. I was so impressed by it that I have been dedicated to try every batch since. Now, I'm not in Kentucky. I don't get access to some of these bottles. So again, huge shout out to our friends at Kentucky Senator Bourbon. I appreciate them sharing them. They even give me a little sneak preview. They're like, hey, we got something fun coming this year. You're going to want to try it. So I love the folks there. They really know how to build hype. And I'm so excited to try their newest release. This is their release number 6. This is John Edwards. These are all named after different Kentucky senators. This one is 7.5 years old, 107 proof. Now, it's a tribute to John Edwards, who was elected Kentucky's second senator in 1792, the same day that John Brown became the first senator from the Bluegrass State. Both were elected by the state legislature of Virginia. Both were elected by the state legislature. A Virginian by birth, Edwards settled in Bourbon County, leaving the U.S. Senate in 1795 to return home to serve in both the Kentucky House and Senate. Like fellow Virginia natives Thomas Jefferson and James Madison, he was a Democratic Republican. He is buried in Paris, Kentucky. So, a true Kentuckian, through and through, even though he's from Virginia. Y'all get it. So, anyways, they named these batches off of different senators from Kentucky. So, I'm excited to try this one. Again, it is a blend. I don't know what went into this bottle. I'm just going off of the info here. It gives you the info about him. It is distilled and aged in Kentucky, so it is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Bottled by Bluegrass Distillers, Midway, Kentucky, for Kentucky Senator Spirits. So again, no age statement, no info. Oh, sorry, there is an age statement. I apologize. 7.5 years old, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. So, let's go and open this up. I also color-wise, look how dark that is. I mean, it's kind of hard to see. Oh, I see my face. That's kind of weird. It is dark. I mean, the Cream of Kentucky was pretty dark, but this one's like a couple shades darker. Definitely makes you think that there's some age on this one. 107 proof as well. Can't wait to give this a try. Have y'all had Kentucky Senator? I'm curious because, again, I think it's something that's very limited in availability unless you do live in Kentucky, or at least in the surrounding area. I'd be curious to know how many of you have had it because, again, it really blew me away a couple of years back. So I'm excited to finally revisit it for 2025. Matthew Parks in the chat. What's up, Matthew? I've been seeing the chat. I've been trying to stay on topic without getting distracted. They're asking if they tried it in Bourbon on the Banks, potentially. Fred said, I believe I've only had a sample from Clifton. That one was really good, though. Yeah, Fred, you probably had the one that I really loved a couple years back. Yeah. How was... Okay, day 5 of JF. I don't know what that means. Yeah, so we're going to try this one. There's about 2,000 bottles of it released. In terms of price point, that's a great question. I don't actually have the price point here in front of me. If anyone happens to know, please let me know. But I do have the mash bill, so I got something for you. I don't have the price, but I have the mash bill. The mash bill of this one is 75% corn, 21% rye, and 4% malted barley. Now the mash bills vary. Last year's batch was the same mash bill. Actually. Oh, okay. Everyone except the very first release of Kentucky Senator have been the same mash bill. So ever since release number 2, 3, 4, 5, and now 6 are the same mash bill, just different age statements. Last year was a 9-year. The one before that was an 8-year. The year before that was a 7, and then a 6 before that. Now this one is coming in at 7.5 years old. Jazz Fest. Okay. I was like, JF. I was like, we're talking about senators. I was like, JFK. I don't know where we're going with that, but I got you. Okay. So again, 107 proof. Kentucky whiskey. Oh my god, that smells delicious. Oh god. Okay, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Rich. Rich in all ways. Not just on the flavor. The nose of that is so rich, so dark. Not as I mean it's dark, it's sweet, but it's not like a chocolate or a caramel like we were getting earlier. This one's like a condensed, a very, very condensed tea note. Not like a bright like a green tea or anything like that. It's definitely more of like a black tea, but really dark. I mean, even chai, like a super condensed cooked down tea. Oh, that's delicious on the nose. Wow, I cannot wait to try this. If it's anywhere as good as the nose on this one, just I cannot wait to try it. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing if I can find the price point on this just so I can pull it up really quick. Kentucky Senator. It's hard to find because it's not available in my area. Let's see if I can find anything. I'm finding some reviews. Oh, I found it's listed for 120 on this one website. 120. Okay, 120 seems to be the price point of it. Interesting. Okay, likely some oddball Barton that they made for a while. I mean, maybe. Make sure I fall on the pillow. Oh, Doug about to fall over. 8 hours at New Orleans Jazz Fest. Oh my god, that sounds so much fun. I hope you had an absolute blast. I'm sad that I missed New Orleans this year, but I hope to go in a future year for the Bourbon Festival and just the city in general. Listen, I love New Orleans culture. I love Cajun cuisine. I grew up in South Carolina around the Gullah Islands. Really enjoyed it's similar types of food, similar culture. I just am absolutely in love with it. Yes, I am a California boy now. I live in Los Angeles, but I do miss that good Southern culture, especially the food. Nothing beats New Orleans food. Like, as someone who loves food from all over, nothing beats good Cajun food. But with that, we got more whiskey to drink. Thank you all again for tuning in. Hey, I'm here every Thursday night. If you're curious about more whiskeys, whether it's bourbon, single malt, scotches, Irish, we go all over the place. If you're curious, hit subscribe, join our Discord community at bourbonbites.com. Be a part of the family because I think of you all as some of my best friends, some of my family. So with that, I think I'm just going down like a softie, like I'm getting it sentimental because how good this smells. So let's hope it tastes as good as it smells. Here we go. Cheers. Still with that tea note, less of the I did hint at like what did I say? I said chai tea. Less of that. It's definitely more of a black tea note. Still that really condensed flavor, not overly sweet. Lots of body, lots of oak. This one's rich in a palate, mouthfeel kind of way. Finish is still relatively light. It's not the most. I would say medium finish on this one. It does linger quite a bit longer than the Cream of Kentucky, but when that hits your tongue, it's like a hint of sweetness from like a mint julep. Maybe I'm thinking about this because we're talking about it's Derby season. I don't know, but it's like sweet, not quite minty, but that sweet bourbon flavor that I get off of a mint julep. That's what hits my tongue first. Then it covers the palate. The palate gets a bit darker, a bit deeper, a bit more tea, and it lingers. I mean, wow. This reminds me about what I loved about the Kentucky Senator from I think it was 23rd. No, not 30. 2023. I'll have to go back and check, but one of those made my top 3 whiskeys of the year. This one, I will say, this reminds me a lot of what I loved about that release. So we will see if this makes my list. If you don't know, I do a top 10 whiskeys of every year. It's usually mostly bourbon. It's definitely mostly American whiskey, but I do throw in a few wild cards here and there. Make sure to stick around till December to find that video. But there's a lot more streams on the way between now and then. There's a lot more whiskeys that I'm going to try between now and then. So we'll see if this continues to stand up. But first impressions of the Kentucky Senator, release number 6. Incredible, delicious, everything I love about the Kentucky Senator brand. I feel like they've actually stepped up above last year's release. I did review last year's Kentucky Senator. Full transparency, I didn't love it. I was so enamored by the release before that that I felt a little let down last year. I don't know if it's what was different about the blend. Just didn't quite tickle my taste buds the way that the first one did. By the first one, I mean release number 4. But release number 6 goes back to what I loved about number 4. So if you've tried the Kentucky Senator number 4, try this one. It's going to be very similar, but in a really, really good way. That one was 8 years old, I believe. So this is only half a year younger. Aaron said 100% New Orleans is my favorite U.S. city. Just ask Fred. I don't know if I would say it's my favorite, but it is up there. It's definitely my top 5. Whiskey Uncensored, cheers to you. Good seeing you again. I loved hanging out with you the other day on Joe's stream. WOW, Women of Whiskeys? What are we talking about? Did I miss Women of Whiskeys? WoW was a force. I'm assuming you're talking about Women of Whiskeys. They go live on Wednesday nights. Michelle and Adriana are amazing. Make sure to check out their streams or their replays. Did not catch last week's, but I'm hoping to catch the replay here soon. Brandon in Delaware, hello, good to see you. We just went to New Orleans, and its turtle soup at Commander's Palace was the best. Oh my gosh, I've actually never been to Commander's Palace. Funny enough, in a former life, aka my last job, I did a pitch reel for a Commander's Palace TV show. It was going to kind of be like a Gordon Ramsay style show, but all centered around New Orleans cuisine. Because it's going to be centered around Commander's Palace. They were going to bring in chefs to do, to train to be a New Orleans genius of flavor. Didn't actually get made, but it was a fun concept. I loved working on that. I've never been to Commander's Palace, but I have had turtle soup in New Orleans, and it is delicious. First time having turtle soup actually was in Boy Scouts. Listen, again, I'm from South Carolina. We had a lot of weird stuff. We had deer. We had actually deer's not that weird. Venison's not that weird. I never had squirrel. Wait, hold on. I almost have a memory, like I blocked it out for like half a second. I think someone brought squirrel jerky one time to my Boy Scout troop, and I can't say that I didn't try it. I don't recall what I thought of it, or if I for sure had it. But I think squirrel jerky is probably the most redneck thing I've ever eaten, other than like fatback and like country ham and liver mush. I mean, I'm just trying to think of all the southern things, but squirrel jerky is probably up there next level. Again, I can't confirm or deny if I've had squirrel jerky, but I have a feeling I did at some point. One of the best meals we've had. Oh, I bet. Yeah, Commander's Palace is good. Adriana is on Women of Whiskeys now. Yes, she is joining Michelle on a lot of their streams. I don't know if she's permanently on it, but she's definitely there a lot of times, so make sure to check it out. Also, Whiskey Mountains, a good friend. She is a co-host now, as Emily says. Raccoon stew. I've not had raccoon stew. Oh gosh, raccoon stew. No, I've definitely, this is the most random thing I want to tell you. Me and my friend, we found a possum in the woods back when I was like 8 years old, and we thought it was dead, because you know how possums play dead. So we're like, but if it's not, let's build it a shelter. So we built it in like a rock thing around it. But I think we ended up trapping it in because it was a baby, and we felt so bad that we ended up like throwing the body into the creek, and I felt so bad. I'm like, did we kill this baby possum because we thought it was dead already? Like, we made like a little grave for it. We did not eat it. We threw it in the creek. Wow, why are we going on this story? What did y'all put in my head right now? Alligator po' boy. I've had alligator bites, like little like fried alligator bits for sure. Squirrel brains and eggs. I've heard about this dish. Also, hi Adam. Of course, we start talking about like southern stuff and you show up. It makes total sense. But not had that, but I have heard of that dish. I've absolutely heard of that. Have not had it. The doctor is permanently a Women of Whiskey's co-host. Yes. Squirrel jerky is elevated compared to just fried squirrel. Oh, fried squirrel. Also, wash bears? Ew, what are we talking about, guys? Ew. Oh my god, we still have 2 more whiskeys to drink. We're hitting time, but I was late, so we've not quite hit time. We got 15 more minutes. Thank you for sticking around. I know there's a few channels live right now. Appreciate you tuning in live or watching the replay. We can talk about some weird stuff here. We get into some really weirder stuff on our after parties. Everyone $10 and up on the Bite Club or Patreon gets access to that. Again, bourbonbites.com for all the details. I've heard a few of you join the Discord tonight. Excited to see you there, be a part of our community. It's been a minute since we've had some new folks, so I'm so glad to see you, Tom, for joining our Discord. Anyone else is welcome. Again, bourbonbites.com. There's a link to it there. It's a ton of fun. All right, we got more whiskey to drink. Let's stop talking about weird southern food and things to eat-ish. And let's get into our last 2 bourbons of the night. We've got 2 more. One of these is a brand I've never had on the channel. Also never had ever. I've heard things. I don't know if they're good things or bad things, but I've heard things about this brand. I'm excited to finally give it a try because they have a new release that piqued my interest. This is Green River from Owensboro, Kentucky. Foolproof Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey coming in at 58.65% ABV, 117.3 proof. So I've heard of Green River. I've never had their stuff, but I saw they had a cask strength release, and this was very, very affordable. Honestly, the price is what drew me in the most. I saw that this would come in at $50 or less. I think I paid $44 for it. So, foolproof Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. There's not an age statement on it, but high proof bourbon whiskey coming in at like less than $50 is at least gonna pique my curiosity, not puke my curiosity. It is non-chill filtered. It is a small batch and barreled at barrel strength. Just a bunch of marketing speak on the back. Let's see how it is. Let's go into this again. Blindly as someone that's never had Green River bourbon. I also know they have a rye. So I was looking at the liquor store. Actually, I picked this up again today along with the Cream of Kentucky. Again, I've heard about it, never really looked into it. I saw they had a wheated bourbon and I saw they had a rye. I wanted to wait till I tried this one before I bought those other ones, but if I like this, I may go try their other releases. Because, listen, I'm a sucker for a good foolproof whiskey. Wash bears, raccoons, gotcha. Doug says he loves Green River. Okay, great to hear. Whiskey Pear says many of my bourbon snob friends have said very good things about Green River. Okay, that's a good thing. I've read the first part of that sentence. I'm like, uh-oh. But that's great to hear. Green River, really great backwards. Great value bottle. We get a lot of grape notes. And it's fine. Doesn't amaze me, but it's fine. Okay. Overall, it seems like a pretty positive consensus. I'm excited to try it for the first time. Again, the price is what got me. It is a blend of 5, 6, and 7-year-old bourbons. Mash bill is 70% corn, 70% local corn, 21% rye, and 9% malted barley. So that's a relatively high rye mash bill. I'm excited to get into this. Let's give it a nose first. Oh, well, I mean, it's almost like I predicted that. Yeah, that is such a rye forward nose. That is spicy. Not minty, but definitely spicy. I mean, that's like, if you told me this was a straight up rye whiskey, I would believe you. Because that nose is like a 95.5 rye. And even though I said there wasn't mintiness, it's because that wasn't the first thing that struck me. The thing that struck me the most was that spice. There is some mintiness there. It's like a spice forward mint, which I feel like is not quite a thing. It's almost like, this is gonna be a weird comparison. I've had some of the Chinese like herbal drinks that are kind of supposed to be like medicine or like good for your health. They definitely have a lot of mint in them. They have some spices. This honestly smells like that on the nose. I mean, it cleanses your nostrils quite a bit. It definitely clears up your sinuses. There's a little bit of leather on the nose too. Again, like I said, it's a blend of 5, 6, and 7-year-old bourbons. But I will say, it does smell quite a bit old. Can't wait to give it a try. I love the nose. Let's see how it tastes. Cheers. Oh, wow. That is high proof. They don't lie about that. Wow. Okay. Ooh. I mean, that one grabs you by the tongue, literally. Like, I don't think I've had a whiskey in a while that completely coats the tongue like that. Like, I swear, I didn't quite fill my mouth with it. I put it on the tongue and I swallowed it for the first sip, but I swear that thing surrounded my tongue like an aura. Like, that was such a intense experience. Now, we are going from 107 proof to 117 proof, which is not that quite drastic of a jump, but it sure did feel like it. I'm gonna have to go for a second sip because that experience definitely surprised me. Let's try it for a second time. Almost spit it out. Wow. Wow. Okay. Dang. For a brand that I've never had, potentially a distillate that I've never had, this is, for $50? What have I just discovered? What am I missing? That is one of the longest finishes I've had on a bourbon in a long, long time, especially under the $100 price point. Yes, I expect some of the limited editions, like more expensive bourbons, to have a bit longer of a finish, a bit more complex of an experience. Would I say this is super complex? No. But that flavor profile is robust. It's rich. It completely coats your palate in a way that I don't think I've had in a long, long time. It just dances around the tongue. And I saw a comment that's actually exactly what I was thinking, Aaron. Sounds like it would be great with a cigar. Oh man, you would need something really hefty to hold up to this because this sticks to the tongue. It's funny because it's so full bodied and it doesn't quite stick to the rest of the mouth. It's just it's almost like, okay, this is a weird comparison. You know those toys that are like you like draw the mustache. Okay, it's like a magnet and you like take these little lead shreds or whatever they are and you draw on their face and you make the mustache and you make the eyebrows. It's like a kid's toy. Well, what I feel like is happening is my tongue is that magnet and all of the flavor and richness is just going attaching itself to it until I force it down when I swallow it. That is such a weird comparison. I apologize, but that's how good I feel about this. This is absolutely a contender in my top whiskeys of the year. Y'all know I love to include a budget top whiskey of the year. This one at $50, I mean, I really struggle to find a whiskey at that price point that's this good. For my palate, it's all subjective. For my palate, this is incredible. I'm going to go out in the next week or so and buy the rest of their products because I'm very, very curious. Now, not to say that their rye or their wheated bourbon are anywhere as good as this, but this foolproof bourbon whiskey checks all my boxes. I mean, the only thing I wish it would have was an age statement. I'm reading off of a website. It's a blend of 5, 6, and 7. So I don't know for sure, but wow. That's really good. I'll make sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. Fred says Green River is doing good things. I know everyone always says this, but I look forward to enjoying it at higher age. I don't find it exciting where it's at, but I do see its potential. Okay, fair enough. Fred, if you have not tried this new release, I'm curious to hear what you would think of this one, the foolproof release. That's the thing, Cliffy. You bought the foolproof before trying the 90 proofers. They're all good bottles. Okay, no, that's fair. Ain't nobody got time for that. I love it. No, but I do love trying something at foolproof. Like I definitely think that's, for me, that's a good way in. That's the rye. Oh no, sorry, this is the bourbon. I was saying that when I picked this up at the liquor store today, I saw that they had the rye and the wheated bourbon. This is just the Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey. Have not had the rye, but I was saying that I might pick it up after this. Doug says he likes the Green River wheated bourbon best, then the rye bourbon at 90 proof. Well, Doug, you got to try this one. Listen, it is here in California. I hope it's there in New Orleans. Definitely give it a try. Brandon's trying to get caught up. No worries. I know you came in late, so it's all good. Fred said, have you had OZ Tyler? Same distillery, but they stopped doing the hyper aging. Have not had it since they've done the hyper aging. I've heard of that. I feel like, was OZ Tyler at once a Total Wine Spirits direct brand? Because I almost feel like I had it then, but I could be wrong. I'd heard bad things. And that's why I thought there was maybe bad things about this one. But man, that is not bad at all. Joseph jumping in with the cigar advice. You'd have to pair it with a dark, earthy Maduro. The bourbon is bright and spicy, so contrasting flavors is the way to go. Brandon said, I usually go Scotch with a cigar, but I could see this pairing well with a cigar since it would punch through the smoke. Oh, yes, absolutely. Fred's agreeing with Joseph's pairing. I can't stand when people call having two things of the same flavor profile a pairing. Pet peeve. That's fair. I mean, I'm not the best at pairing, so I will agree that I'm not the one to ask, but these guys are obviously pros. Aaron says, sounds good. A Padron 1924 Maduro should fit the bill. I don't know what that is, but it sounds delicious. It's fun that you discover something everyone else has. Okay, true. I mean, honestly, I had no preconceived notions. Honestly, I had an inkling in the back of my mind that the Green River related to OZ Tyler, and I know people didn't like OZ Tyler, so I was worried that this wasn't going to be that great. I even asked on Discord before the stream. If you're on my Discord, you saw, so about this Green River, do people like this? Like, should I be reviewing this? That was before I tried it. Delicious. Love it. I don't believe I've had the foolproof. Changed my mind. Well, Fred, I can very much do that because you are a bourbon terabyte, and I treat no one like I treat my bourbon terabytes. So you'll get this month. And anyone else, it's May 1st, by the way. Happy May. It's going to be May. If you want to join our Bourbon Bites membership program, this is the best time to join. You'll get the full months of benefits. If you join the Bourbon Terabytes within the next week or so, you get into our monthly tasting. So we're going to have this. If you've always wanted to try the bottles that we tried tonight, we're going to have this Green River barrel strength. We're going to have the Knob Creek that we're about to go to next. And maybe a few other surprises. So if you want to try a sample, again, I send out 5 1-ounce samples every month to people at that tier. Check it out. Join in the next week or so, and you'll get access to these. Again, I'm saying this as of May 1st. You have like a week to guarantee you access. After that, we'll figure it out. If anyone's curious, bourbonbites.com. I promise, it seems like a lot, but when you consider what you get, I think you'll realize that it's very much worth it. So if you have any questions, please shoot me a message on Instagram or email or YouTube or wherever I'm available. Contact at bourbonbites.com. Juan, oh my gosh, I have not seen you in years. Oh my God, it's been years. Juan, I hope you are doing well. I miss you. I really do. I miss your presence at our meetups. I miss you in the chats. Please catch up with us soon. I can't wait to hear life update, anything. I miss seeing you in the chat. So hope you are doing well, my friend. Good to see you. Talking cigars. Yeah, Zofer, that's exactly what I was thinking. I've had one of those too. It wasn't very good. All right. We got one more whiskey to try tonight, and it's the one that I'm looking forward to. I was gonna say the most, but that Green River really blew me away. So, Fred with the backup there, totally worth it. Todd and I have a blast. Yes, Todd and Fred are our current Bourbon Terabyte members, and they enjoy it. That's your endorsement right there. But again, if y'all have any questions, please reach out. Miss you too, Juan. Doug says, I got a Green River single barrel pick at last year's New Orleans Bourbon Festival, which was off profile and not like the rest. So it wrecked me for a while for the foolproof. Okay, that makes sense. I do encourage you to try this one again. It's not a single barrel, it's a batch. Yeah, to me, this one's really, really impressing me. All right. If you missed my intro, this is the one I'm most excited for. This is a travel exclusive Knob Creek release. If you know me, you know I love Knob Creek, even though you can't see it. This is my Elijah Craig and Knob Creek shelf. It's currently occupied by all Elijah Craigs, but I promise you, I'm a Knob Creek fanboy. I love Jim Beam Distillery. I love their Knob Creek line. I like Booker's, but Knob Creek is where it's at for me. So when I was traveling from LAX to London at the end of March, I was like, let me just check out the duty-free shop. I'm like, I wasn't planning to buy anything to take from America to the UK and lug it around with me till I came back. But I was like, let me check it. And then I saw this. I'm like, first of all, I saw Knob Creek 10. My first thought was like, oh, it's the rye. But then I got closer. I'm like, that's not a green label. This is a Traveler's exclusive Knob Creek cask strength, unfiltered, 10-year-old straight bourbon whiskey. It is 122.4 proof, 61.2% ABV. I think I misspoke in Perry's chat. I said it was 122.8, but it's actually 122.4. If you know anything about Knob Creek, not cask strength, but single barrels and single barrel picks, those are capped currently at 120 proof. Now, there's rumors that they're going to start releasing them at cask strength, which I'm very, very excited to see. But this might give me a little bit of a taste of what to expect from those cask strength Knob Creek picks. A little bit more info here. It's nothing necessarily special. You know Knob Creek. You know all this info right here. But it's cask strength unfiltered. Listen. I went to the Jim Beam Distillery back in 2018, which has been a really long time ago, and I had during the tour they actually like filled a Glencairn from they opened a barrel of whiskey and they filled the Glencairn with it, and they said like, this is Knob Creek. Now, unfortunately, due to probably legal rules, they could not give us a taste from that Glencairn, so they told us like put our hands under it and try it. So I mean, I have one arm, so like that's a little difficult for me. So I felt like I was shorted, and I should have got a glass of it, Mr. Distillery Tour Manager. I'm just kidding, no. But I did taste it, and it was delicious. This is going to be the closest thing I've had to that unfiltered, cask strength, Jim Beam, Knob Creek flavor profile. I'm so excited. I'm excited to see if this comes out around the rest of the country. If so, if this is delicious, I cannot wait. Thomas Anderson is in the chat. Cheers, everyone. Just subbed. Oh, welcome. So good to see you. I was going to say I didn't recognize the name, but I appreciate you being here. thank you for being part of our community. Hey, join our Discord, bourbonbites.com. It's where we all hang out during the week. If you're curious to find more whiskey loving friends, you'll find us all there. But thank you so much for joining. Hopefully you enjoy the stream. If you're joining a bit late, catch the replay because I tried some really incredible bourbons. But now we are about to try a Cask Strength Knob Creek 10-year-old. Brandon says I need that bottle. Yeah. If you all saw Perry from It's Bourbon Night stream tonight, he pulled up a screenshot of my thumbnail and he's like, I need this. So there's a desire for this whiskey. And only my bourbon terabytes get first pick of it. They'll be the first ones to try it. All right, on the nose. Interestingly enough, on the nose, it's a little bit off profile for Knob Creek for me. It kind of reminds me of some of the notes I get on like a Baker's, which I think Baker's, Booker's, and Knob Creek all have like a distinct flavor profile. This is a little more fruit forward, which I typically get on a Baker's. It's not a bad note. It's just not quite what I expect from a Knob Creek on first nose. I mean, the ethanol is there. That is definitely a Cask Strength bourbon. There's a smokiness to it too. It kind of reminds me, not like the Mesquite smoked whiskey we had earlier, but like a really excessively charred cask is what I'm getting on the nose. Aaron said he saw Booker's on the shelf today at Total Wine. The world is healing. Yes, I saw the newest batch, Barry's batch, which is the 2025-01. Are y'all still curious about Booker's? Yeah, I'll ask the chat. There's quite a few of you watching now or watching the replay. Are y'all still interested in hearing reviews of each batch of Booker's? Because for the longest time on the channel, I've been doing them, but I feel like the interest around Booker's has kind of fallen off a little bit lately. I do think it's picking up a little bit. But if you do want to hear my thoughts of Booker's, I'm happy to pick up every batch I can get. Like I said, I just saw there's a new batch available. If you want to hear, comment below that like you want to hear more about Booker's. I've not been doing it because I didn't know people still cared about Booker's. Again, as someone that loves Jim Beam, that breaks my heart to say, but I get the understanding. The price went up, the age stayed all the same, the quality was hit or miss. But if you do want to hear more about Booker's, I'm happy to buy every batch so you guys can know, as a Jim Beam lover, which ones are worth it and which ones are maybe worth skipping on. But with that, the Knob Creek smells delicious. Can't wait to give it a try. Cheers. And thank you all for tuning in this late. I know it's going a little bit over time, but I think it's worth it for the whiskey. Cheers. Oh my god. If I wasn't in heaven if y'all missed the stream on Saturday when I was with Brandon trying all the E.H. Taylor barrel strength and barrel strength rye, if that wasn't a vision of what I feel like when I'm having a whiskey heaven or a whiskey orgasm, I guess we'll call it, then this is as well. Because this is exactly how good I felt on Saturday. This whiskey is what I feel like I've been missing in bourbon for the past 2 or 3 years. This is it kind of makes sense if you think about it, because 3 or 4 years ago, we were getting Knob Creek, not Cask Strength, but single barrel picks at 13, 14 years old. We were getting older Knob Creek, so that age made up for the fact that it was 120 proof capped down. Trying this unfiltered at 122.4% ABV gives me all the richness that I remember from Knob Creek. All the absolutely mouth-coating. You know, I said that the Green River coated the tongue. This coats the whole palate. Not quite as intensely going towards the tongue. Not like that magnetic thing I was saying earlier. It's definitely mouth coating. It's not quite as rich as I think the Green River is in terms of palate and mouthfeel, but flavor. Oh my goodness. I mean, I hope y'all can see. I don't want to say this, but I would almost fly out of the country just to get more bottles of this. I can see myself booking a cheap flight to Mexico or Canada and like buying the maximum number I'm allowed to buy these and bringing them back, because that's how good this is. If you are flying internationally, save room in your luggage. Buy this on your way out. Again, I found at LAX. I heard it's also available at JFK. Again, it depends where you're traveling internationally. Check the duty-free shop. I know we don't often think about checking the American duty-free shop, but if you're leaving the country and coming back, you can get that and bring it with you. If you see this, buy it, especially if you're a Knob Creek fan. Thomas said most bottles of 2024-04 Booker's still on the shelf in Michigan. I would love to know what Booker's is worth. I would love to know what Booker's is worth $100. I will not buy one unless I know it's worth it. Very fair assessment, Brandon, and I think I've been with you there for the past couple of years. I'm only down to buy Booker's if it's an excellent batch. Okay, so I'm getting a feel that you guys, not necessarily you don't want to try it. I mean, if I try it, it doesn't cost you anything. Unless you're a patron, because your Patreon money and your bourbonbites.com membership of the Bite Club does support me and allows me to buy these things. So if you're like, I don't know if I want to buy that, Clifton, what do you think of it? Well, join my membership and help me get it, and I will buy it absolutely for you guys. That's the whole point of the memberships. It allows me to try new things. It allows me to visit new places and like distilleries and events. So again, it does mean a lot. Even those of you at the Bourbon Bits tier, which is my lowest tier, every bit makes a bite. So I love all my Bourbon Bits and Bites. Sorry, my chat just jumped, and I feel like I lost some stuff. Booker's is like ECBP. Some batches are better than others, but they're all good. Joseph, I agree with ECBP. I have had some I don't want to say off Bookers. They've been good, but there have been Bookers that I felt like are not worth the money. I don't think there's been an Elijah Craig Barrel Proof that's not been worth the money for me. But then again, I'm a Heaven Hill fanboy. I love me Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, but I also am a Jim Beam fanboy, but I prefer Knob Creek. So I feel that sentiment, but there have been Bookers that I'm like $100. I don't feel like it was worth it. I'll be honest, that's happened quite a few times. For a while, that's why I wasn't buying Bookers. So that's why I kind of have passed on it. But I did have a few from last year. They were really good. So there's a new batch available now. It's $90. The price actually dropped here in Southern California. It's gone down to $89.99. So, again, if y'all want to see it, let me know. Okay, that's the stream we should do. I have most of the batches since 2019. Oh, okay. Let's do it. Would love to do it either in person or if we do some samples. Let me know. Hit me up after the stream. Should be a lot of fun. Been buying Bookers since they came out in 88, 89, and I like them all. Well, that's dedication. I mean, I will say, thanks to our good friend Todd Cooper, he has given me one of the first batches of Bookers ever. I think it was 88. It could have been 87. It was a very, very early batch of Bookers. Mind-blowingly delicious. Loved it. I've also had like a 90s Bookers before, so I am very familiar with the flavor profile. I absolutely love it, and I can totally feel that. If you've been dedicated, might as well. I mean, in the scheme of things, $100 for a bourbon is a lot, but it is a nice bottle. It comes in a nice box. It's got a cool story. I mean, it's hard to beat for the price for being a limited edition bourbon. So more power to you. Save some for me, please. Of what? The Knob Creek? Probably. Maybe. We'll see how fast it goes. Okay, so is Green River a close second and the Knob is number one for the evening? Oh, great question. But first, I'm going to give a shout out to Doug. With the $20 super chat, a little help buying all those new bottles. Well, Doug, that means a lot. Seriously, you guys that support me, no matter how you do, whether you are a subscriber, Bite Club member, Patreon supporter, or super chat like Doug just did, it really does. And I'm very adamant, especially this year. My New Year's resolution for this year was any money that goes into the channel goes to buying those bottles that tell me that I always tell myself, no, that's too expensive. You don't need to spend that much money on a whiskey, because I think we all feel that way. But because I have a platform and because I have amazing people like you guys, I'm going to buy that bottle. And I'm going to tell you what I think of that bottle. So that's my goal for this year. I've done it a few times already. I mean, I've been talking about it with bookers. So I hope to keep that up. And with support like you and Doug and the rest of you, it's definitely possible. But to go to Whiskey Pair's question for the evening, is the Green River a close second or is it the top? Great question. Let me pour a little bit. Let's make the decision. Now again, the Kentucky Senator was incredible. The cream of Kentucky was really good. Kentucky Senator was incredible. Green River blew me away. For the price, again, we're talking price. This was a $44 bottle. Kentucky Senator, I think is, I don't know the price point on that one. I'll have to do some research later. But let's try the Green River at full proof. And we'll compare it to the Knob Creek. We're going to find which one's my favorite for the evening. All right. Going back to the Green River. Man, that color is so even darker than the Knob Creek. Man, such a rich nose. I still enjoy it, but now going back from the Knob Creek, it's like Okay, final verdict tonight. For my palate, as someone that is a Jim Beam fanatic, a Knob Creek lover, the Knob Creek 10-year-old cask strength unfiltered bourbon at 122.4. Again, it's cask strength, so it's going to vary depending on release. This is a Traveler's exclusive. Is hands down my favorite. I think I paid $60 or $65 for this. Would buy this every time I travel out of the country. Shoot, I'm actually in like 20 days. I'm actually going down to Mexico again, but I'm taking a cruise. I'm not flying. I don't think you can do duty free. I mean, I can check the cruise ship shop, but I'm not sure if that counts. We'll see. But next time I fly out of the country, I will be grabbing at least one more bottle of this. That being said, the Green River is the first time trying this brand. Really, really blew me away. I'm excited to try more of their releases. I think it's an absolutely incredible product for $45. Kentucky Senator Bourbon comes back to the roots of what I loved about this brand 2 years ago. Last year was a bit of a miss. This year is back on top. These three are the top contenders of my best whiskey of the year. I know we're only halfway through, but they are definitely contenders. Lastly, Cream of Kentucky. Also really enjoyed this one. I actually enjoyed it more than the rye. I think the price is a bit high at $70. 100 proof. It's a good whiskey. It's a fun bottle. It's a fun label. And I hate to say it was my least favorite of the night because I think everything I tried tonight was delicious. I think just three of these blew me away, and it's just a luck of the draw, right? I mean, you never know what I'm going to pit it against. It's not like I'm, trying to be like, oh, which one's better? That's never the point. The point is to say, do I like these? Yes, I tried 5 different whiskeys. Will I say that I really enjoyed all of them? Yes. I almost forgot. We tried another whiskey when we started. If you missed the beginning of the stream, we tried Santa Fe Spirits, which actually is one of the better single malt American whiskeys I've had. So tonight has just been a win all around. And if you thought so too, hit the thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe and come back because I'm wrapping up now. Look at me segueing naturally into the outro because that's what I do when I have an after party to attend with you guys there. If you are a patron or a Bourbon Bite Club member, want to make sure I get through some comments before I leave. That stream will have only 29 samples. Oh, I must have missed the contest. I think the pricing issue is that it's a 6 to 7 year old bourbon. Now $100. We're talking about Booker's. Okay. Price of Booker's is kind of pricey, but still better than many $100 bottles. Agreed. My last Knob Creek 12 was $70. Why Booker's? I agree. My last Knob Creek 12 was $60. And same comment. I'll be surprised if Green River beats the Knob Creek. Yeah. Oh, Kentucky Spirit. Wait, no, KS. Kentucky Senator. I think it did, but only because of the price point. The price point influenced that. Because we're talking about I think I said it was 120. I'm sorry. I looked it up. 120 versus $45 to $50. To me, for the price, the Green River beat it. But the Kentucky Senator is delicious. Absolutely love that bottle. Thomas is sipping on a Knob Creek 12. One of my favorite horrors. We always have a Knob Creek 12 in the house. You have to play the Green River bottle game where you flick a quarter across the tabletop and try to make it to the horseshoe opening on the bottom of the bottle. Oh, that's fun. I like that. Don't tempt me with a good time. Listen, I love a good challenge. Maybe we'll save that for the after party. I'll probably break everything and my whole desk will collapse. Who knows? All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. This has been a lot of fun. This has actually been one of the most fun streams I've had in a while, other than last Saturday with Brandon doing the E.H. Taylor. So, hope you guys enjoyed it too. Leave a comment down below if you have a chance to try any of these. Let me know what you think. Let me know what ideas you guys have for future streams. Again, I'm willing to buy bottles exclusively for this channel because of the support of the Bite Club here and your super chats that come along the way. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. It's here in California. It's going to be a bit rainy and cold. Got a notification about gale force winds, which is not fun. Hopefully, wherever you are, it's a bit nicer than that. But even if it's not, enjoy a good movie. Enjoy time with your friends and family or other whiskey tubers. Cheers. I'll see you guys next Thursday night. It's actually, so next Wednesday is my birthday. And last year I did like a whole birthday stream. But I feel like it got a little crazy because I invited everyone to it and we got a little wild. Would y'all want to see another Cliffy birthday bash where like I just open it up to anyone that wants to join us? Would you? Or you're like, that's too chaotic? Let me know. I'll read your comments as I'm doing my outro. But yeah, next week's my birthday. So we will see what we do. We should do something special though. Something fun. I always love a good fun birthday stream. I love drinking whatever I want because I'm like, it's my freaking birthday week. I can do what I want. So let me know. All right. Cheers, y'all. I will see y'all on Thursday. Bye.